Ladies and gentlemen, what if the last few minutes before you fall asleep could completely transform your life? There's an ancient practice that connects you directly to the universe's wisdom while you rest. Most people waste these precious moments scrolling their phones. But tonight everything changes. Every night billions of people lay their heads on pillows without realizing they're missing the most powerful opportunity of their day. The transition between waking and sleep isn't just rest time. It's a doorway, a sacred portal where your mind becomes most receptive to universal guidance. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to use this window to attract inner peace and spiritual awakening. The modern world has disconnected us from one of humanity's most ancient practices. We live in constant noise, mental chatter, digital distractions, endless worries. Our minds race even as our bodies try to rest. Think about your typical night. You climb into bed, check your phone one last time, and then what? Your mind starts spinning. Work stress, relationship problems, money worries. You toss and turn, fighting for peace that seems just out of reach. Ancient wisdom keepers understood what we've lost. The moments before sleep are when the veil between conscious mind and universal consciousness is thinnest. It's when we can plant seeds into our subconscious and ask the universe for guidance. The problem isn't that the universe doesn't want to help us. We've forgotten how to ask, how to listen, how to prepare our minds to receive answers. Understanding the sacred transition, your brain goes through distinct stages. As you fall asleep, as you relax, brain waves shift from rapid data waves to slower alpha waves of relaxation. Then comes the TA state, the gateway to the subconscious where insights emerge and deeper wisdom surfaces. Ancient masters understood this science before we could measure brain waves. They knew twilight consciousness was sacred time and developed practices to harness this natural transition, the power of intention setting. When you ask the universe for something, you're setting an intention that aligns your entire being with a specific outcome. Most people approach this wrong, asking from lack, desperation, or doubt, treating the universe like a cosmic vending machine. Real intention setting comes from trust, gratitude, and alignment. It's not about demanding what you want, but opening yourself to receive what serves your highest good. You're not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective, preparing your sacred space. Your bedroom is your spiritual sanctuary. Remove electronic devices from your sleeping area. That blue light disrupts circadian rhythms and creates electromagnetic interference with your natural energy field. Keep your space clean and organized. Clutter in your external environment creates internal clutter. You don't need anything fancy, just cleanliness, simplicity, and intention. A slightly cool room supports natural transition into deeper consciousness. The gratitude foundation. Every spiritual practice must begin with gratitude because gratitude is the frequency of abundance. When you're grateful, you're acknowledging that the universe has already provided for you. You're establishing trust and appreciation before you ask for anything new. But this isn't about making a mental list of things you're thankful for. This is about feeling gratitude in your body, letting it become a living energy that transforms your entire being from the inside out. Place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. That's 24 hours a day of life force flowing through you without any effort on your part. This miraculous pump has been working since before you were born. Never taking a break, never asking for recognition, just faithfully sustaining your life with every beat. Feel grateful for that incredible dedication. Think about the air flowing into your lungs right now. You don't have to remember to breathe. It happens automatically. Your body knows exactly how much oxygen you need and adjusts without any conscious input from you. Feel grateful for that miracle of biological intelligence. Now expand this feeling outward. Gratitude for the bed supporting you right now, cradling your body as you prepare for rest. Feel grateful for the roof protecting you from the elements, creating a safe space where you can be vulnerable and open. Think about the people who love you, who care about your well-being, who would be concerned if something happened to you. Even if relationships are complicated, even if some people have hurt you, there are those who genuinely want good things for your life. Feel grateful for that connection, that reminder that you're not alone in this vast universe. Consider the experiences that have shaped you, even the difficult ones that taught you strength and resilience. That heartbreak that showed you how deeply you could love. That failure that revealed your capacity to get back up. That loss that taught you what really matters. These weren't pleasant experiences, but they carved into your character, gave you wisdom you couldn't have gained any other way. Feel grateful for your own strengths, for your ability to survive and grow through challenges that once seemed impossible to overcome. Don't just think these thoughts. Feel them in your chest, in your belly, in your entire being. Let gratitude become more than an idea. Let it become a warm sensation that spreads through your body like gentle fire. Notice how your breathing naturally deepens when you feel genuine appreciation. Notice how your shoulders relax, how tension melts away when you focus on abundance rather than lack. This is your nervous system responding to the frequency of gratitude, shifting from stress mode into a state of receptivity and peace. This gratitude foundation does two crucial things. First, it raises your vibration to match the frequency of what you want to attract. The universe responds to energy more than words, and the energy of gratitude is magnetic. When you're genuinely grateful, you're telling the universe that you recognize abundance, that you can handle more good things, that you're a worthy vessel for blessings. Second, it opens your heart, and an open heart is essential for receiving universal guidance. A closed heart, protected by walls of fear or resentment, cannot receive the subtle communications that the universe is constantly sending. But a heart opened by gratitude becomes like a clear radio receiver able to pick up signals that were always there but previously blocked by internal static. As you practice this nightly gratitude, you'll notice changes beyond just better sleep. You'll start noticing more things to be grateful for during your waking hours. Your brain will literally rewire itself to look for abundance instead of lack, for beauty instead of problems, for connection instead of separation. This isn't about forcing positivity or denying real challenges. It's about training your consciousness to recognize the miracles that surround you every day. But that busy modern life has taught you to ignore the gratitude you feel before sleep becomes the lens through which you see your entire life. And that shift in perspective changes everything. The release ritual before you can receive new energy. You need to release what no longer serves you. Every day we accumulate mental and emotional debris, worries, frustrations, judgments, fears, resentments, and anxieties that stick to our consciousness like dust settling on furniture. If you don't consciously release these accumulations, they build up like static interference, creating noise that makes it nearly impossible to hear the subtle guidance the universe is always trying to share with you. The release ritual isn't just about letting go of negative thoughts. It's about creating space within yourself for new possibilities to emerge. Think about how your mind works throughout a typical day. You wake up and immediately start processing information. Emails that stress you out, news that makes you worried about the world, conversations that leave you feeling misunderstood or frustrated. You carry these experiences with you, layering them on top of yesterday's unresolved concerns and last week's disappointment. By the time you get to bed, your consciousness is cluttered with emotional residue from dozens of interactions and situations, each one carrying its own energetic charge that keeps your mind spinning even when your body is ready to rest. Create a simple but intentional release ritual that acknowledges this accumulation and consciously clears it away. You can visualize placing all your worries and stress into an imaginary box, feeling the weight of each concern as you lift it from your mind and place it carefully into the container. Then see yourself handing that box to the universe for transformation, trusting that whatever needs your attention will be returned to you in a form you can actually handle while everything else dissolves into the cosmic recycling system. Or imagine each concern as a dark cloud that you breathe out with each exhale, watching these heavy energies leave your body and dissolve into light as they meet the infinite space around you. The key is to be specific rather than vague. Don't just say, "I release my stress." That's too general to have real impact. Instead, name each concern individually. I release my worry about that meeting tomorrow and my fear that I won't know what to say. I release my frustration with my partner for not listening to me earlier today. I release my anxiety about money and whether I'm making the right financial decisions. I release my anger at myself for eating too much at dinner and my judgment about my lack of willpower. Name it to claim it. Acknowledge what you're actually carrying and then consciously choose to let it go. Some nights you might have more to release than others, and that's perfectly normal. Don't judge yourself for having stress or negative emotions. They're natural responses to living in a complex world with real challenges and uncertainties. The goal isn't to never feel negative emotions, but to avoid carrying them longer than necessary. Simply acknowledge them, thank them for trying to protect you or alert you to something important, and then consciously choose to let them go rather than rehearsing them endlessly in your mind. As you practice this release ritual consistently, you'll notice that you naturally start letting go of things more easily during your waking hours too. You'll catch yourself holding on to frustrations and remember that you have the power to release them in real time rather than waiting until bedtime. You'll develop what spiritual teachers call emotional fluidity, the ability to feel your feelings fully without getting stuck in them. To let emotions move through you like weather moving through the sky. This doesn't make you less caring or less engaged with life. It makes you more effective because you're not wasting energy on things you can't control or situations that are already in the past. The release ritual also creates space for the new. When you clear away old emotional debris, you make room for fresh insights, creative solutions, and innovative perspectives that couldn't emerge when your consciousness was cluttered with yesterday's concern. You become like a clear glass that can be filled with new water instead of a cup that's already full of stagnant liquid. This spaciousness is where miracles happen, where unexpected opportunities appear, where the universe can surprise you with gifts you never would have imagined if you were too busy rehearsing old problems to notice new possibility. The body awareness practice your body holds infinite wisdom, but most of us have learned to ignore its signals in favor of living almost entirely in our heads. We treat our physical form like a vehicle that carries our mind around, disconnected from the profound intelligence that operates every cellular function, every heartbeat, every breath. Before you can communicate clearly with the universe, you need to reconnect with your physical vessel. And remember that your body is not separate from your spiritual nature. It is the sacred temple through which your spirit experiences this earthly existence. Modern life trains us to override our body's natural rhythms and signals. We drink coffee when we are tired instead of resting. We eat when we are stressed instead of addressing the underlying emotion. We ignore pain until it becomes unbearable, dismiss fatigue until we're completely depleted, and push through discomfort until our bodies have no choice but to force us to stop through illness or injury. We've created a culture that values productivity over well-being, mental achievement over physical harmony, and we wonder why we feel disconnected from our own lives. Start at the top of your head and slowly scan downward like a gentle wave of awareness moving through your entire being. Notice any areas of tension, discomfort, or holding without trying to fix anything. Just observe with the curious attention of a scientist studying something fascinating. Your shoulders might be carrying the weight of responsibilities that feel too heavy to bear. Your jaw might be clenched from words you wanted to say but held back. Conversations you need to have but keep avoiding. Your chest might feel tight with unexpressed emotions. Grief you haven't fully processed or love you're afraid to share. Your stomach might be knotted with anxiety about the future. Worry about decisions you need to make or fear about outcomes you can't control. As you notice each area of tension or discomfort, breathe into it consciously. Imagine your breath as healing light that can reach any part of your body that needs attention. Send appreciation to that part of your body for working so hard to support you, for holding stress so that other parts of you could keep functioning, for being so loyal and dedicated even when you haven't been paying attention. Ask it what it needs. Often tension is just energy that wants to move, emotion that wants to be felt, or wisdom that wants to be heard. Give it permission to release, to soften, to share its message with you. Your shoulders might be telling you that you're trying to carry too much alone and need to ask for help. Your jaw might be holding words that need to be spoken. boundaries that need to be set, or truth that needs to be shared. Your stomach might be processing not just food, but emotions. The knots you feel there might be your body's way of telling you to slow down and pay attention to what you're really feeling beneath the busyness of daily life. This practice serves multiple purposes beyond just physical relaxation. It brings you fully into the present moment, which is essential for spiritual connection because the universe exists in the eternal now, not in your mental rehearsals of the past or future. It helps you identify where you might be holding emotional or energetic blocks that are interfering with your natural flow of life. And it demonstrates to the universe that you're ready to listen to your body's wisdom and to cosmic guidance because you're finally paying attention to the signals that have been there all along. As you develop this body awareness practice, you'll start noticing throughout your day when tension is building, when emotions are getting stuck, when your body is trying to tell you something important. You learn to read the subtle language of physical sensation and understand that your body is constantly communicating with you about your emotional state, your spiritual needs, and your overall well-being. This isn't just New Age mysticism. It's practical wisdom that helps you live with greater awareness, health, and harmony. The body awareness practice also connects you to the Earth's energy and the cosmic forces that flow through all living things. When you're fully present in your physical form, you remember that you're not just a mind floating in space, but a conscious being embedded in the fabric of existence, connected to every tree, every star, every other living creature through the same life force that animates your own cells. This connection is the foundation of all spiritual practice and the doorway through which universal guidance naturally flows. The heart-opening meditation. The heart isn't just a physical organ pumping blood through your veins. It's your spiritual center, the command center of your entire energetic system and the bridge between your earthly experience and divine consciousness. Ancient traditions across every culture recognize the heart as the seat of wisdom, compassion, and connection to the divine. The Egyptians believed the heart was weighed against a feather to determine the soul's worthiness. Hindu traditions speak of the heart chakra as the center of love and transformation. Christian mystics describe the sacred heart as the dwelling place of God within human form. When your heart is truly open, you become a clear channel for universal love and guidance. No longer filtering cosmic wisdom through the limited perspective of your analytical mind, but receiving it directly through the infinite intelligence of your spiritual core. Place both hands on your chest and feel your heartbeat, that steady rhythm that has been your most faithful companion since before your first breath. This heartbeat connected you to your mother's pulse when you were still forming in the womb. And it connects you now to the pulse of all life, the rhythm of ocean waves, the cycling of seasons, the rotation of planets, the expansion and contraction of the entire universe breathing in cosmic cycles beyond human comprehension. Your individual heartbeat is not separate from this universal rhythm, but is one unique note in an infinite symphony of existence. As you focus on this rhythm, imagine your heart beginning to glow with warm golden light. This isn't just a visualization exercise. You're actually awakening the electromagnetic field that your heart naturally generates, a field that extends several feet beyond your physical body and is measurably stronger than the electromagnetic field of your brain. Scientists have discovered that the heart has its own neural network, its own form of intelligence that processes information and influences your thoughts and emotions in ways that rational thinking alone cannot achieve. When you consciously connect with your heart's intelligence, you're tapping into a form of knowing that transcends logical analysis and connects directly with universal wisdom. With each breath, let this golden light grow brighter and expand outward. Feel it filling your chest cavity first, warming every cell in your heart muscle, then extending into your lungs, your ribs, your entire torso. Let the light continue expanding, flowing down into your arms and hands, up into your throat and head, down through your belly, into your legs and feet. Don't force this visualization or worry about doing it correctly. Let it happen naturally, organically, the way light naturally radiates from any source of illumination. Some nights the light might feel bright and expansive, almost electric in its intensity. Other nights it might be gentle and subtle, like candlelight or dawn breaking slowly over the horizon. Both experiences are perfect because they reflect your natural rhythms and your body's wisdom about what you need in each moment. As the light grows and encompasses your entire being, you might notice physical sensations, warmth spreading through your chest, a softening in your shoulders, a deepening of your breath, or a gentle tingling throughout your. These are signs that your nervous system is shifting from its usual state of alertness and protection into a state of receptivity and trust. Your heart is literally opening, not just metaphorically, but physically, as the muscles around your chest relax and create space for deeper breathing and greater circulation. This physical opening creates the foundation for spiritual opening, because your body and spirit are not separate entities, but different aspects of one unified system. As the light continues to expand beyond the boundaries of your physical body, set a clear intention that your heart is open to receive whatever the universe wants to share with you. This isn't about asking for specific things yet, that comes later in the practice. This is about creating the receptive state that allows true communication to happen. The way tuning your radio to the right frequency allows clear reception of distant signals. You are essentially telling the universe, I am here, I am open. I am ready to listen and receive whatever wisdom, guidance, love, or healing you want to offer me in this moment. This heart-opening meditation does something profound to your entire energy system. It shifts you from a state of seeking and grasping to a state of allowing and receiving. It moves you from the mental frequency of problem-solving and analyzing to the heart frequency of intuitive knowing and divine connection. Many people spend their entire lives trying to figure everything out with their minds. But the deepest truths and most profound guidance come through the heart's intelligence, which operates on frequencies of love, wisdom, and cosmic understanding that the rational mind cannot access. When your heart is truly open, you become like a flower opening to receive sunlight, naturally attracting exactly what you need for your growth and highest good. The question formation. Now comes the art of asking, and this is where most people unknowingly sabotage their connection with universal guidance. They approach the universe with desperate pleas or vague wishes that come from a place of lack, fear, and disconnection. Please make me happy. Help me find love. Give me money. Fix my problems. These requests lack clarity and precision. But more importantly, they arise from a fundamental misunderstanding of how universal communication actually works. They treat the universe like a cosmic vending machine where you insert your request and hope something comes out, or like a distant authority figure who might grant your wishes if you beg convincingly enough. This approach creates resistance rather than flow, desperation rather than trust, and usually results in either no response at all or responses that come in forms you don't recognize or appreciate. Effective questions to the universe are specific, open-ended, and trust-based. They acknowledge that you are not separate from the universe, but are an expression of universal consciousness, seeking to understand itself more clearly through your unique perspective. Instead of give me money, which implies that abundance exists somewhere outside of you and needs to be delivered to your location, try show me how I can create abundance while serving my highest purpose and contributing to the well-being of others. This type of question acknowledges that abundance is a natural flow of energy that moves through you when you're aligned with your deeper purpose, not something external that you need to acquire or possess. Instead of make him love me, which attempts to control another person's free will and comes from a place of attachment and insecurity, try guide me toward the love that serves my growth and happiness. Whether that's healing this current relationship or opening me to receive love from an unexpected source. This question trusts that the universe knows what kind of love will actually fulfill you and serve your spiritual development, even if it's different from what your personality thinks it wants. It opens you to possibilities you haven't considered and allows for outcomes that might be far better than anything your limited perspective could imagine. The most powerful questions often focus on inner development rather than external circumstances, because changing your inner state naturally transforms your outer experience in ways that feel miraculous, but are actually the natural result of aligning with universal law. How can I find peace in this challenging situation? Acknowledges that peace is available, even in difficult circumstances, and asks the universe to show you how to access it. What do I need to learn from this challenge? Transforms problems into opportunities for growth and wisdom. How can I serve the highest good in this situation? Connects you to purposes larger than your personal desires and opens channels for guidance that serves everyone involved. What is my next step on my spiritual path? Asks for direction that aligns with your soul's deepest intentions rather than just your personality's immediate ones. When you form your question, don't just think it as a mental concept, but feel it arising from the deepest part of your being. Let the question emerge from your heart, not just your head. Because the heart's electromagnetic field carries emotional information and energetic signatures that communicate far more than words alone. The universe responds to the energy behind your words as much as the words themselves. So approach your questioning from a state of genuine curiosity, openness and trust rather than anxiety, desperation or doubt. Take time to sit with your question. Before you ask it, feel into whether it comes from fear or love, from scarcity or abundance, from trying to control outcomes, or from genuine desire to understand and grow. Refine the question until it feels aligned with your highest values and deepest truth. Sometimes the process of forming the right question is more valuable than receiving an answer, because it clarifies what you really want and helps you understand the assumptions and beliefs that have been limiting your experience. The quality of your question determines the quality of the response you can receive, so invest the time and attention needed to ask from the clearest, most open and most authentic part of yourself, the visualization bridge. Visualization isn't about creating fantasy scenarios or escaping into imaginary worlds. It's about creating an energetic bridge between where you are now and where you want to be, between your current state of consciousness and the expanded awareness you're seeking to embody. When you visualize with genuine feeling and embodied sensation, you're not just imagining or daydreaming. You're actually rehearsing a new reality at a cellular level, programming your nervous system to recognize and create experiences that match your visualized state and sending clear signals to the universe about the frequency you want to align with and attract. Modern neuroscience has discovered that your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual physical experience. The same neural pathways fire, the same hormones are released, and the same changes occur in your body, whether you're physically experiencing something or visualizing it with sufficient detail and emotional engagement. This is why athletes use visualization to improve their performance, why people can develop physical symptoms from imagined threats, and why trauma survivors can heal by reimagining painful experiences with different outcomes. Your visualization practice is literally rewiring your brain and reprogramming your body to operate from the state of consciousness you want to embody. If you're seeking inner peace, don't just think about being peaceful as an abstract concept. Feel peace as a living presence in your body. How does genuine peace feel in your chest? Is it a warm spreading sensation like sunlight filling a room, or a cool refreshing feeling like diving into clear water? How do your shoulders sit when peace is your natural state? Do they drop and soften, releasing the weight of constant vigilance and tension? What happens to your breathing when you're truly at peace? Does it naturally slow and deepen, becoming more rhythmic and effortless? How do you move through the world when peace is not something you're trying to achieve, but something you are? Do you walk more slowly, speak more softly, make decisions from a place of calm clarity rather than reactive urgency? Make your visualization as specific and sensory rich as possible. See yourself waking up in the morning from a place of peace, feeling refreshed and centered rather than immediately anxious about the day ahead. Visualize yourself in challenging conversations, remaining calm and present rather than defensive or aggressive. See yourself receiving difficult news and responding with equanimity, processing the information clearly without being overwhelmed by emotional reactivity. Feel yourself moving through traffic jams, work stress, family conflicts, and unexpected problems while maintaining an inner sanctuary of stillness that nothing external can disturb. If you're seeking spiritual awakening, visualize yourself living from that awakened state in concrete, practical ways. How do you treat the checkout person at the grocery store when you are operating from awakened consciousness? Do you make real eye contact, offer genuine appreciation, see them as a fellow expression of divine consciousness rather than just someone performing a service? How do you respond to criticism or conflict when you're anchored in spiritual truth? Do you take things personally or recognize that others' reactions say more about their inner state than about you? What kind of energy do you radiate when you're aligned with your deepest truth? Do people feel calmer around you, inspired by your presence, drawn to the peace and authenticity you embody? The key is to visualize not just the end result of what you want, but yourself naturally embodying the qualities you're seeking as if they're already your natural way of being. This tells the universe that you're ready to receive these gifts because you can already feel what it's like to live them. You're not asking to become someone different, but to more fully express who you already are at the deepest level. This removes the resistance that comes from believing you need to acquire something external and replaces it with the recognition that you're simply remembering and embodying your true nature. Spend time in your visualization experiencing the ripple effects of your transformed state. How do your relationships change when you operate from genuine peace or authentic spiritual awareness? How do challenges and obstacles appear different when you approach them from this expanded consciousness? What new opportunities and possibilities open up when you're vibrating at this higher frequency? Let yourself feel the joy, freedom, and fulfillment that naturally arise when you're living in alignment with your highest potential, and carry those feelings into your sleep and into your waking life. Surrender practice. This might be the most challenging part of the entire practice for many people, especially those who have been conditioned by modern society to believe that they must control every aspect of their lives to be safe and successful. After asking your question with genuine sincerity and setting your visualization with embodied feeling, you need to let go completely. But surrender doesn't mean giving up, becoming passive, or abandoning your dreams and desires. True surrender means trusting that the universe has heard your request and will respond in the way that serves your highest good, even if that response looks nothing like what your personality expected or wanted. Most people unknowingly sabotage their spiritual practice by holding on too tightly to specific outcomes, becoming attached not just to getting what they ask for, but to getting it in exactly the way they imagined it should come. They ask the universe for guidance about their career, and then immediately start trying to control how that guidance should appear, expecting it to come through a particular person in a specific time frame or in a form that matches their preconceived notions about how universal communication works. This creates resistance and blocks the natural flow of universal response because attachment creates energetic contraction, while flow requires expansion and openness to possibilities beyond your current understanding. Consider how attachment operates in your daily life. When you're desperately attached to a specific outcome, your energy becomes tight, anxious, and controlling. You miss opportunities that don't fit your narrow expectations. You dismiss guidance that comes in unexpected forms. You push away help that arrives through unconventional channels. Your attachment actually repels what you're trying to attract because desperation and control vibrate at frequencies that are incompatible with the natural flow of abundance, love, and wisdom that the universe wants to provide. True surrender means releasing attachment to how, when, or even if your request will be answered in the way your personality thinks it should. It means recognizing that the universe operates from a perspective infinitely broader than your individual viewpoint, with access to information about timing, connections, and possibilities that your limited human consciousness cannot perceive. The universe can see the entire web of relationships and circumstances that influence your life, while you can only see the small portion of that web that's immediately visible to you. When you truly surrender, you're acknowledging that the universe might have something even better in mind than what you asked for. Maybe you asked for a specific job, but the universe knows that a different opportunity would utilize your talents more fully and bring you greater fulfillment. Maybe you asked for a particular relationship to work out, but the universe can see that you need to heal certain patterns within yourself before you are ready for the love you seek. Maybe you ask for a problem to be resolved in a specific way, but the universe knows that working through this challenge will develop strength and wisdom you'll need for your future path. surrender also means releasing attachment to timing. Your personality might want answers immediately, solutions by next week, and changes that happen according to your preferred schedule. But the universe operates according to perfect timing that takes into account not just your needs, but the needs of everyone whose life intersects with yours. The guidance you're seeking might require certain conditions to align, certain people to be ready, certain lessons to be learned, or certain healing to occur before it can manifest in the most beneficial. Practice saying something like, "I trust that this request has been heard and will be answered in the perfect way at the perfect time. I release any need to control the outcome and open myself to receive whatever serves my highest good." Feel these words in your body as you speak them, not just as mental concepts, but as a deep letting go that relaxes your entire nervous system. Notice how surrender actually feels. Often there's a physical sensation of releasing, like setting down a heavy burden you didn't realize you were carrying. True surrender pedagogically increases your power rather than diminishing it. When you stop wasting energy trying to control outcome, you can't actually control. That energy becomes available for taking inspired action on the things you can influence. When you release attachment to specific results, you become more creative, flexible, and open to solutions you never would have considered. When you trust the universe's timing, you stop pushing against natural rhythms and start flowing with currents that carry you toward your goals with much less effort and struggle. The receptivity stance. After surrender comes receptivity, the art of listening for the universe's response with patient attention and open awareness. This doesn't mean waiting for a booming voice from the cosmos or expecting dramatic signs that leave no room for interpretation. Universal communication is usually much more subtle and sophisticated than the Hollywood version of divine intervention, often coming through inner knowing, synchronicities, dreams, sudden insights, or shifts in your perception that gradually guide you toward greater understanding and more aligned action. The challenge of receptivity is that it requires a complete shift in how most people approach receiving information. In our fast-paced, instant gratification culture, we are accustomed to immediate responses, clear instructions, and direct communication that leaves no ambiguity about what we are supposed to do next. We want guidance that comes with step-by-step directions, guaranteed outcomes, and elimination of all uncertainty. But the universe communicates more like a wise teacher who provides hints and clues that encourage your own discovery and growth, rather than giving you all the answers in ways that bypass your need to develop wisdom and discernment. As you drift towards sleep, maintain a gentle awareness that's alert without being tense, open without being demanding. Don't strain to hear anything specific or create pressure around receiving immediate guidance. Instead, rest in a state of relaxed attention like someone sitting by a quiet lake who's aware that fish might surface, but doesn't need them to appear in any particular spot or at any specific time. This quality of awareness allows space for communication while avoiding the energetic interference that comes from forcing or grasping. Sometimes guidance comes as vivid images that feel more real than ordinary dreams, carrying messages that are immediately clear and actionable. Sometimes it arrives as words or phrases that seem to come from beyond your usual thought patterns, offering perspectives you hadn't considered, or solutions that feel both surprising and obviously right. Sometimes the communication is purely feeling-based, a deep knowing that arises without words, a shift in your emotional state that provides clarity about a situation, or an energetic sense of rightness or wrongness about potential choice. Often, the most profound guidance doesn't come during your bedtime practice at all, but emerges days or weeks later through seemingly ordinary circumstances that are actually perfectly orchestrated responses to your request. The book that falls off the shelf and opens to exactly the page you need to read. The conversation with a stranger that provides the missing piece of information you've been seeking. The job opportunity that appears just when you're ready for a career change. The chance encounter that leads to a relationship or collaboration that transforms your life. These synchronicities are the universe's way of communicating through the fabric of your daily experience rather than through supernatural interventions that override natural laws. The key is to trust that communication is happening even when you can't perceive it consciously. The subconscious mind is always processing vast amounts of information, making connections between seemingly unrelated experiences and working on problems, even when your conscious attention is focused elsewhere. By setting the clear intention before sleep that you're open to receiving guidance, you're programming your inner wisdom to work on your question throughout the night, processing it through dreams, integrating it with your stored knowledge and experience, and preparing insights that may surface hours, days or weeks later when you're ready to receive and act on them. This requires developing what spiritual traditions call the witness consciousness, part of you that can observe your experience with detached awareness, noticing patterns and connections that your emotionally involved personality might miss. Practice paying attention to your inner state throughout the day. Notice when you feel drawn to certain choices without logical reason. Pay attention to recurring themes in conversations, media, or your environment. Observe the quality of energy around different options or opportunities. Trust the subtle guidance system that operates through your intuition, your body's responses, and your heart's knowing even when your mind can't explain why something feels right or wrong. The integration commitment. The final practice is committing to integration. This is where the rubber meets the road in your spiritual development. This means making a sacred promise to yourself that you'll pay attention to the universe's responses when they appear and take concrete action when guidance emerges. Even if that guidance challenges your comfort zone or requires you to change patterns that feel familiar and safe. Many people ask for spiritual guidance with great sincerity and genuine desire for growth, but then ignore or rationalize away the answers when they arrive, because those answers don't match their expectations or require them to stretch beyond their current limitations. This tendency to dismiss guidance is deeply rooted in the human psychology of resistance to change. Even when you consciously want transformation, unconscious parts of your psyche are invested in maintaining familiar patterns because familiarity feels safe even when it's not actually serving your highest good. Ego mind will create elaborate justifications for why you should ignore intuitive promptings, why synchronicities are just coincidences, why the opportunities presenting themselves aren't quite right, or why you should wait for better timing before taking action on the guidance you've received. Make a specific commitment that you'll stay alert for signs, synchronicities, and inner promptings over the coming days and weeks following your bedtime practice. This means developing what you might call guidance radar, a heightened awareness of the subtle ways the universe communicates through your daily experience. Promise yourself that you'll pay attention to recurring numbers, unexpected encounters, books or articles that seem to appear at perfect timing, conversations that address exactly what you've been wondering about, or opportunities that align with what you've been asking for. Promise that you'll trust your intuition even when it doesn't make logical sense to your rational mind. Intuition operates through different channels than logical thinking, accessing information through energetic sensitivity, pattern recognition, and connection to collective wisdom that exist beyond individual knowledge. Sometimes your intuitive knowing will guide you to make choices that seem illogical or impractical from a conventional perspective, but lead to outcomes that are far better than anything your rational planning could have achieved. Commit to taking at least one small action based on whatever guidance you receive, even if you're not completely certain about its source or meaning. Action is what transforms guidance from interesting ideas into lived experience and real change in your life. The universe responds to movement and engagement, so taking even small steps based on your inner promptings creates momentum that attracts more guidance and opportunities. Start with low-risk actions that feel aligned with what you're receiving. Making a phone call, sending an email, exploring a new direction, having a conversation, or simply paying more attention to something that keeps capturing your interest. This commitment is crucial because it demonstrates to the universe that you're serious about this communication and willing to participate actively in creating the changes you're seeking. It shows that you're not just looking for entertainment or comfort, but are genuinely committed to growth and transformation. The universe is much more likely to provide clear guidance to someone who has demonstrated a willingness to act on previous promptings than to someone who consistently ignores the help that's offered. Keep a journal of the guidance you receive and the actions you take in response. Notice patterns in how the universe communicates with you personally. Some people receive guidance primarily through dreams, others through synchronicities, others through inner knowing or physical sensation. Understanding your unique guidance system helps you become more skillful at recognizing, interpreting the messages you're receiving. Record not just what guidance comes, but how you respond to it and what results from your actions. This creates a feedback loop that strengthens your connection to universal wisdom and builds your confidence in trusting and following your inner guidance. Here's the profound truth that changes everything. You are not separate from the universe asking for help from something outside yourself. You are the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective, asking your own infinite wisdom to reveal itself more clearly. When you ask the universe for inner peace, you're not requesting something foreign to be delivered to you. You're asking your own deeper nature to emerge past the noise and conditioning that has covered it up. When you seek spiritual awakening, you're not trying to become something new. You're remembering what you've always been. This realization transforms the entire practice. Instead of begging an external force for gifts, you're having an intimate conversation with the deepest part of yourself. Instead of hoping someone will hear your prayers, you're accessing the infinite wisdom that lives within your own consciousness. The universe doesn't need to send you peace because you are peace. It doesn't need to deliver awakening because awakening is your natural state. What the universe provides is the circumstances, insights, and experiences that help you remember and embody what's already true about you. This is why the practice works. You're not trying to manipulate external forces. You're aligning with the creative power that you are. You're not asking for something outside yourself to change. You're requesting that your own consciousness expand to include more of its natural capacity for love, wisdom, and peace. Tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, you have a choice. You can let your mind spin the same worries and distractions that have kept you restless for years. Heart opening creates receptivity. Question formation focuses. Intention. Visualization builds the bridge. Surrender allows flow. Receptivity enables guidance. Integration makes it real. That's the key so many people overlook. Learning something new, feeling inspired by a powerful message, or even experiencing a moment of deep self-awareness doesn't create lasting change on its own. The real transformation begins when you start weaving those insights into the fabric of your daily life. That's what integration is, taking the concepts and turning them into lived experiences. But here's what you need to remember. This process isn't about perfection. It's about sincerity, consistency, and showing up for yourself in a way that feels real, even if it's messy at times. Some nights, everything will flow effortlessly. You'll move through all 9 practices with clarity and ease. Your mind will be calm, your heart will be open, and it will feel as though the entire universe is aligning in support of your effort. Those moments are beautiful gifts, and when they come, embrace them fully. But don't let them trick you into thinking that's how it has to be every single time for it to matter. Because the truth is, transformation doesn't happen in one perfect moment. It happens in the accumulation of imperfect, authentic attempts over time. Other nights, you might not even make it halfway. Maybe you'll start the gratitude practice and drift off to sleep before finishing. Maybe your thoughts will wander, your energy will be low, or you'll feel disconnected from the process altogether. And that's okay, more than okay actually. Because the universe isn't keeping score of how flawlessly you perform. It isn't measuring the number of words you say, the minutes you meditate, or how perfectly you stay focused. What it responds to, what truly matters, is your sincere intent. If your heart is in it, even in a small, imperfect way, you're creating a ripple of energy that moves far beyond what you can see. It's the intention behind the action that opens doors, shifts circumstances, and invites alignment. The effort doesn't have to look perfect to hold power. So let go of the pressure to get it right. Let go of the idea that one missed step or one distracted night erases your progress. Integration is a living, breathing process. It evolves with you. Some nights will be luminous and full of clarity. Others will be quiet and simple. Both matter. Both count. Because when you keep showing up even imperfectly, you're building trust with yourself and with the universe. You're proving through small, sincere actions that you're ready for change, ready for growth, ready for more. And the universe always responds to that kind of readiness, not to perfection, but to the realness of your intention.